So let's look into the percent. Percentage means per 100. If I say I got a 90% in my math test, okay? So what does that means is I have 90 points out of 100. So you say it's not, you got 90%. It means 90 out of 100. That's a mean. Okay? It doesn't mean every time it has to be 100. Like for example, if you got 45 out of 50, this is also a 90%. Okay? So 45 out of 50, it also comes towards 90% because if you multiply by 2, that is 100, and this is 90. So 90% also, like 45 out of 50 is also 90%. So it's anything with out of 100 that's called percent. Okay. Anytime you calculate out of 100, it's called percent. Let's say if I say 25%, which means 25 over 100. If you want to write a fraction, it's a 1.4. But if you want to write a decimal, 1/4 means 0.25. Or you can see the decimal, 25 over 100, you write the 25. And then move the decimal 1, 2 places, put a 0 there. So 25%, we wrote a fraction, a simplified fraction, a decimal. Okay? There are 3 different ways you can write: percent, fraction, and decimal. So that's really important to know how to convert each back and forth. These are some common equivalents. So anytime you look at it, you look at a percent, fraction, decimal. So there are 3 different formats you can see. For example, 100% means it's a 1. And then if you write it, it's complete 1, 1.0. If you say 50% means 50% is 1/2, and it's a 0.5. And then if you see 25%, 1/4, 0.25. So like this, these are the common ones. We use them a lot. If you can remember this one in terms of the percent, decimal, fraction, it goes faster. You do calculations faster. Let's say if I say 80%, it's 0.8. But if I say 20%, it's 0.2. And same thing with it, like 3/4 is 3/4, like 70%. If you know those connections, it goes faster. So try to remember them. Percent is to fraction to decimal. Then it makes it easier. Okay. So what's the 50% of 20? 50% is questions. And sometimes, any math question you can do in a different ways. As long as you follow the rules, you're good to go. So 50% of 20, you can definitely write it this one. So 50% means 50 out of 100, right? 50% means 50 out of 100. Of means times 20. Of means multiplication. Then you can just do the math. It's a 5 times 2, that is 10. 2 zeros over 100. So that's 10. Okay. So this is the fastest way to do it. And sometimes you can do these questions. You can use the ratios. So you can write it like a part over whole equal percent or 100. There's also, you can use them, but whatever you feel comfortable, you can use them. Okay. Let's see another question here. It comes under the SAT. How can you do this question faster? So look at the screen right now. So you can do that one copy in a minute. It says 50% of 200, right? Or 220. So 50% means if I see my table, 50% means what's a fraction? 0.5 is the decimal. So I can use 50% means 0.5. And then times 20. So it's a 5 times 20, that's a 100. But again, the decimal 1 place later. So that's 10. You see? This is a little faster way to do the questions. That's one of the reasons I gave that list there. So you can use that and then get through this. Okay, let's try the B and then we can check. All right, what did we get for the B?
I got 75.6.
75.6. Has everybody got the same thing, or you guys have a different answer?
Of course. Yeah.
So these questions are sometimes get confused. This question can sometimes get confusing. So please pay attention. I'm gonna explain this kind of model, and then you can work on. So what percent? So when you have these questions, try to convert them into simple words. What percent means, let's say we don't know that, that's a 1%. The next one is of. So of means multiplication. Remember that. And then 60 is means equal. Is means equal is 15. So that's what you need to set up. So what percent times 60 equals 15? We learned the algebra. When you don't know something variable and then you see times 60, so you divide it by 60. Just do the math. Okay, divide by 60 on both sides. So what percent is going to be 15 over 60? If I reduce that one, it's 1/4. Again, 1/4 means 25%. Okay. From the table that I gave to you, if you look at it back, 1/4, it's 25%. Okay. So like that, we can switch it faster with these equations. So 440 is what percent of 400? Now let's divide by 400 on both sides. So that's the 1.1. So that's what percent. But again, if we need a percent-wise, it's going to be multiplied by 100, which is 110%. So what percent of 35.7 divided by 35, you get that. Now, one thing you can do it, 7 goes in 35 is like what, 5 times? So 1/5. But you need a percent times with 100. So that's the, what percent is 20%. Because 5 goes in 120 times. Okay? One 20% of what number? It's 90.
Okay.
Okay? So it's a number. You see, it says what number is 90. So it's 175 times 120%. You should get a 90. So how do you check your answers?
Oh, okay.
So if you want to check your answer, that's 120% of 75. It should be 210, whatever the number, 90. Should be 90. So 120% means 1.2 times 75. Yeah, so 75. So I can get that too. So I'm going to multiply that one. 1.2 times 7.5, 75. That's 90. So that gives you 90 also. That's all checking the answer. It's 90 plus 90. So you guys are doing everything correctly. I mean, nothing wrong with that. Just the only mistakes is like, where do I put a percent? Or where do I not put a percent? So that's where we're getting confused. Okay, so next one is, which one is greater, 0.5 or 1.5%? So tell me what you guys think. It's a good question. I know you guys like, all of you guys are like they're equal because 0.5 means 1/2, but this is the one really tricky question. So watch this carefully. So 0.5 We got that. That's good. That's good. Leave it there. But 0.5%. So what's a 0.5%? So think about the 0.5%. So 50% is 0.5. Agree? So this is 50%. And then this one is 0.5%. Are they equal? Point 0.5 means 50%. The 0.5%, that's different. Do you see that? If this is only half, it's only half, then yes, they're equal. But if it says 0.5%, then it is different.
It's not like
14% means 0.14 times 60. So see if you look at it, which one does make sense to that, and definitely you can use that one also. So when you see this one, cross multiply, because when we did this one, we did the cross multiply. So if you multiply these two, first A, that's going to be 14x equal 60 times 100. But that doesn't match with this. So this is not. You see how we are kind of like eliminating them? So the last one, if you try this one, cross multiply it, it's 14 times 60.
yeah, I got D.
Yeah, which is x times 100. But if you divide it by 100 on both sides,
It took me like a long time because usually when I do that, right? I just know you're supposed to do 14 times 60, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just thinking, is it supposed to be up and down or like sideways? I'm like, oh wait, it's sideways. And then
Right.
I did it.
It's true. Yeah, so these questions are a little bit confusing, but again, not that bad. Not that bad. You can do it. That's good. Yeah. The percentage is like one of the difficult concepts in the SAT also. Like those people do good on the percentages, they can have a really good scores. And those who struggle with it, obviously, yeah, the other people take advantage. Okay.